So good morning. So with increasing use of digital technologies, online frauds such as credit card scams or banking scams have become a growing threat, costing heavily to individuals as well as to organizations. Even right now, as you listen to me, globally over $300,000 are being lost every second to online frauds. Imagine logging into a website that looks just like your bank's. But wait, it's a trap. The scammers can use the replicas of these kind of websites to steal your personal data and login details. To explore a solution, you might ask, can we make our internet unhackable? This is a billion-dollar question, and the answer is yes, we can. But before we go that far, let's imagine something very simpler. What if we could know with absolute certainty that the website we are visiting really belongs to our bank? The server of this website safely resides inside a guarded room of our bank, not in the hacker's basement. That certainty alone could prevent countless scams. This illustrates the idea behind the position-based cryptography, in which instead of using a pre-shared key, one can essentially use the geographical position of a party, use that credential for authentication. Hence, one requires secure position verification, which can not only help in saving from these online frauds, but can also secure many areas. Imagine a wartime situation when secure position verification can ensure that the missile launch command is essentially coming from inside the authorized command center, not from any adversary, which prevents the potential spoofing as well as unauthorized access. So the question now comes that how secure position verification works. So this requires a group of 2 or more trusted verifiers which can send challenges to the prover, and in that case, the prover is the bank website. So the prover must respond these queries in a correct manner. Because the signal cannot move faster than the speed of light, the prover's response time allows the verifier to bound this distance. However, using classical information alone, one cannot achieve secure position verification. The reason is that the classical information can be copied. Take an example of a photocopy machine. You just put a page of information, and that gives multiple copies without any loss of information. Even in today's world, the methods which are used for secure position verification, such as the GPS, can also be spoofed. So a group of colluding attackers can copy the verifier's questions and impersonate as the honest prover. Next question becomes that how we can actually use the methods for securing the position verification. And the answer comes from quantum era or quantum technologies. Essentially, one can use quantum information which works with qubits or quantum bits, and they cannot be perfectly copied because of a fundamental principle called no cloning theorem. So now we consider and envision a different type of situation where we have a quantum scheme in which the verifiers not only sending the classical questions, but they are also sending the quantum states to the provers. And realistically, as the signals can travel very close to the speed of light and the processing can be performed with the minimal delays, one can guarantee the verification within the smallest possible region. This new emerging area is called quantum position verification, and to realize it, we require 2 important resources. Number 1, we require a secure, unhackable communication between the verifiers and the prover, and that can be achieved by quantum means, specifically called entanglement-based quantum communication networks. And number 2, we require position-based authentication, which can be achieved using the closest of light speed communication. And as we all know that the photons, the particle of light, can go with that speed, we can use photons for such kind of communication. So now let's understand these quantum terms in a detail. So we talked about quantum entanglement. It is a phenomena in which 2 or more particles become linked together in such a way that by influencing one of them, you can instantly influence the other party, irrespective of the distance between them. Take an example or an analogy using 2 coins. We know that when we toss these two coins simultaneously, you can get any combinations in a classical realm. However, entanglement-based coins behave drastically differently. Here, both of these coins will give you the same sides irrespective of the distance between them. And if I take these coins apart from each other, let us say one coin is with me in India, the other coin is with my friend in the US, and we toss them together, then irrespective of this distance, by knowing outcome of my coin, which is a head, I immediately know that in the US, the outcome is also the head, and vice versa. So clearly you see that these kind of correlations doesn't exist in the classical regime. And the other interesting part is that in my side, the outcomes can be random in every toss, but both the sides, if you look into, the outcomes will be fully correlated. Since this correlation is very, very private, that means any other user which is residing in any part of the world does not share this entanglement. It provides a fundamental resource to be used for tasks that require not only security, but also privacy. Of course, when we realize quantum entanglement, we do not use coins, but we use quantum particles, such as particles of light, photons, which works as the qubits. So as shown in the slide, using quantum entanglement, one can implement quantum key distribution to share cryptographic keys securely. And this is achieved by distributing entangled photons between the prover and the verifiers. Now in this process, using entanglement, any chance of or any attempt of eavesdropping or stealing the information by the scammer can be fully discarded. And in fact, this process disrupts the quantum state, and that alerts both the parties. So entanglement-based quantum security is considered as a holy grail of secure communication. And it cannot be hacked even with the most powerful computers or even quantum computers. So we can combine now quantum secure communication with the position authentication, as I mentioned, and that together makes the secure verification of the prover's location. Now the question comes that how we will make sure that the verifiers and the provers are sharing this entanglement. And that comes with the idea of multi-node quantum networks. And these kind of networks are essential because they connect the verifiers and the provers, which are sitting at different nodes, and they enable them to transmit and process information using quantum phenomena such as entanglement. These networks, which I mentioned, they offer unprecedented security and potentially very fast and most powerful computation. In fact, many of the applications which you see nowadays in the critical sectors such as banking, finance, defense, telecommunication, and healthcare, everywhere quantum networks are going to play a key role. Similar to the today's internet, which enables the secure communication between the computers or today's computers, the quantum internet allows a secure communication between quantum processors or future quantum computers. So this composes basically multiple interconnected quantum networks. These can be the regional networks, and they together come up with a vast network called quantum internet. This is designed not to replace the classical internet, but actually to complement it in such a way that it offers several new capabilities, which include ultra-secure communication and distributed quantum computing. So these enhanced functionalities enable quantum networks to solve tasks which are impossible to achieve with today's classical network or classical internet. For example, the quantum position verification, which I mentioned, because of a very secure and fast communication, and also using the principles of quantum mechanics to authenticate the party's location. Now you may ask a question whether these are just theoretical predictions or is there any reality? Does anyone has already developed such kind of network? The answer is yes. Such practical quantum networks are already being developed across the globe by several countries. And in fact, in India, our research group at IIT Delhi has been instrumental in developing entanglement-based hybrid multi-node quantum networks, which range from several tens of kilometers to several hundreds of kilometers, enabling what we call intercity quantum communication using free space and fiber communication. In the recent past, we have demonstrated the elements of quantum networks, such as intercity fiber-based quantum secure communication between two cities, that is Prayagraj and Vindhyachal, which were separated by hundreds of kilometers of underground fiber. And later on, we extended it up to 380 kilometers by improving without using even any trusted nodes or relays in between. We have also developed entangled photon-based sources and demonstrated entanglement-based quantum key distribution for hundreds of kilometers into the fiber channel. Very recently, we have established a free space quantum secure communication link within IIT Delhi campus between two buildings which were separated by more than 1 kilometer, and that uses entanglement-based quantum key distribution. Our aim is very simple. We want to develop hybrid schemes, and we want to leverage them for both free space and fiber channels. We want to use hybrid protocols, which could be used for quantum key distribution, and would finally integrate this quantum network with the existing classical network. In fact, these regional entanglement-based quantum networks will be a precursor of the future quantum internet, which is expected to be unhackable, which I mentioned in the very beginning. And I strongly believe that the day is not far when technical hurdles will be surpassed and the quantum solution to online scams will become a reality, ushering in a new era of financial security. Thank you very much.